Somebody's ready to go on an adventure. Okay, boy, load up. You ready to go? Yeah, Tim's ready to go. Tito and I have made our last stop before we head off into the forest. We will be cutting across some old logging roads through the Withlacoochee State Forest, part of it, as we make our way to Richloam. We're headed up to see the Richloam Country Store that's been around for many, many generations. Hey Tito, come on, let's go on an adventure. So we're just turning off of 33 here by the fire tower. So we're off of Highway 33 now, and we are headed west towards the Withlacoochee State Forest. And this is still a paved road, but eventually this road will turn into a dirt road, and we will be entering the Withlacoochee State Forest. Just a beautiful ride down this road, always love it. There's a sign that says, watch out for the tractors. So we will use caution, because this place around here has a lot of farming, a lot of industry. Oh look, there's a Bigfoot. We found it. Or in Florida, as we call them, skunk apes. Look at those skunk apes over there. No, Tito. Apparently Tito does not like skunk apes. He was barking at them, as you heard. The last thing that you want to do if you have extra communications devices is make sure that they're operational. This is right on the fringe of where Verizon's network would drop off, and so I will be forwarding my cellular telephone to my Inmarsat satellite phone. Also, I carry a Zoleo. Zoleo is a two-way satellite communicator that works off of the Iridium satellite system. And so with that, people can send me text messages. They call my cell phone, the satellite phone, a ring. But more important, I like the safety feature that it has of being able to have my wife track me in real time. So whenever I turn on the Zoleo, she'll get an alert and she can bring up the map and see where I'm at. I usually have it check in every 5 minutes, but if you want the battery to last longer, then maybe 10 or 15 minutes would be sufficient. But for a day trip, 5-minute check-ins, it'll work all day long. Also know that when you're out here, unless you got somebody that's driving behind you or in your group, you're kind of out here by yourself. And so if you need help, you may be out here for a long time. So it's best to make sure that you have basic safety equipment with you. I have a farm jack for the Jeep in case I get a flat tire. I also have water, extra water for myself and my adventure partner here, Tito. Also, make sure that if you're using a phone as a GPS system, that you have an application that allows you to do offline maps, because a lot of times like Google Earth and things like that, Waze, they need to have a cellular connection, and you may or may not have that out here. So fortunately for me, in the Jeep, it has a breadcrumb feature on the onboard navigation, so I always turn that on in case I have an issue with my cell phone. And also I turn on the Gaia app on my cell phone, and that allows me to also leave breadcrumbs. So just make sure you're safe, got lots of fuel, and you have a nice adventure, and hopefully nothing comes up where you need that. Also, just make sure you know that there's people out here. They could be hunting, they could be up to no good. So, you know, you're kind of out here on your own. So make sure if you want to carry a knife or a gun, carry your knife, carry your gun, just be safe. All right, here we go. Looks like it's a little more rutted up than the last time I've been through here. I guess I was through here about a month or so ago. Nothing bad, just noticing that there's more ruts. Looks like we got a little water ahead of us. Something you want to be careful of when you come through here, if you don't know the area very well, is you don't know how deep this stuff can get. But this does not look that bad at all. So we'll just idle on through it. And it is a little deeper than what I expected. Yeah, that is a little deeper than I expected. Huh. Well, we can only get through one way. So let's see if we can figure out a way through this thing. I'm just gonna maybe come around this way. Of course, I do have it in four-wheel drive, but I do not have a winch on here. So we just want to kind of be careful and see if we can maybe navigate through this way. And it looks like we're able to get through that one, but that's a good real-time lesson right there. I have been down this road, like I said, about a month ago and don't remember it being that deep. But we are through it and on with the adventure. So there's a wildlife officer following me, so I'm sure he'll probably pull me over and do a vehicle check. So of which, make sure you're 100% legal. Well, as I suspected, I was pulled over by the FWC fella. Not pulled over, I slowed down. He came up beside my window and rolled it down, and I rolled down my window and we chatted. Very nice guy. Please, anybody, if you're out here in the state forest area or anywhere and FWC, Fish and Wildlife Conservation Officer, or game warden as they're sometimes called, or even police officers, please be nice to these fellas. I mean, right now I'm looking at it and I'm about 8 miles from where the blacktop ended, and I'm about 30 miles away from my house. And so you're out here in the middle of nowhere. He's out here in the middle of nowhere. These officers are. They're by themselves. So the best thing you can do is make sure that you're 100% legal. And if you have firearm on you, tell the officer that you have a firearm on you. And just be nice and courteous. The officer was actually interested in the antenna that's on the back of the Jeep. It's like a dome. And I told him it was a Inmarsat satellite phone, of which he seemed to be very interested in that. And I talked to him about the technology, and after we were done, he told me to be safe and I told him to be safe, and I appreciate his work. I really do. I appreciate everything that law enforcement does to keep us safe. And it's just nice to know that, you know, these guys are out here on a Saturday patrolling and just making sure order is kept. All right, here we go. On for more adventuring. Tito and I just stopped for a little relief. We'll let him go potty before we continue on. So we pulled off the main road here just to get out of the way of traffic if there is any. So far the only traffic we've seen is a couple other people and the wildlife officer. But isn't this just absolutely stunning and beautiful out here in this beautiful forest, just miles and miles and miles away from everything. Man, I love it. Just passing through the camping area here at Richloam. So when hunting season comes up, there will be a lot of folks that are in here to hunt, and that place will be full. Actually, down here is a few more sites. Just very pretty through here, very picturesque. These little hunting sites here. You can reserve one. Well, according to the GPS, we're getting closer to 471, which is a main road. So we will look to head up 471 a little bit, and we will be at our destination, the Richloam Country Store or General Store. and we will explore that. And I just cannot wait. Sign there for the historic Richloam General Store. Very close now. And there it is. We made it. The Richloam General Store.
39 years.
39 years. You didn't work at this one, did you?
And I'm crazy too.
39 years.
39 years.
So we made it. We're here at the Richloam General Store. Now the path I took here for nostalgia purposes, I actually came up 33 and cut through the logging roads over to 471. Now I could have come across 471 and took some more back roads, but I figured that I would get up here so I can get back home. And we're at the Richloam Country Store, General Store. Behind me is the old post office that used to service this area. Here's some wanted posters here from the era. You can get your fresh ice cream. And you can get cooking utensils that were from the era. Also have some dried meats. And everything is really beautifully decorated and laid out. And these are some toys that one would have seen when they came in here. So you can imagine, just like me as a kid, Mom goes shopping for food, and I'd probably want that ant farm. Little wooden airplanes. There's some jams and strawberry butter. Of course, you got to have a boiled peanut pot. Some drinks from the time. Very neat to
Give me some candy.
see the candy.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Look at all this candy. And there you have it. The Richloam General Store and Post Office. Until next time.